Hello, and welcome to the Higher Expectations podcast with the Higher Advantage Real Estate, where you'll hear from Ron, Josh, and Michael, a multi-generational family of real estate experts in Southern California. We'll uncover valuable insights and gems on how you can grow your wealth and live life and shed a little bit of positivity and motivation along the way. Today, my co-host is Josh Vigil.
Hey, Ron.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. And we have a very special guest, Adriana Gonzalez. She is one of our best transaction coordinators, and we'll get into that on exactly what a transaction coordinator is and does in a little bit. How you doing, Adriana?
I'm very good and happy to be here with you guys.
Well, and thanks for coming in. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So a little bit of background on you, your family, where you grew up, and shed a little bit of information for our listeners.
Yes, of course. So I was born in East LA. I come from a very big Mexican family.
Mm-hmm.
So family has always been the main thing for me. And during that time, I lived with a lot of my aunts, uncles, so it was definitely chaotic. So then I ended up getting pregnant at 17 with my husband. It's been 21 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
We have three wonderful girls, 20, 14, and 7. They're about 6-7 years apart.
We saw two and your husband this earlier before the podcast.
Yeah.
They were here. So very nice family.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good.
Very, very happy with my girls.
Yeah, I bet you are. And then how did you get into the transaction coordinator business?
Well, it was actually, we spoke with my husband and I spoke with our realtor. I wanted to do something besides being in the medical field. I was in the medical field for about 12 years.
Okay.
So I wanted to be more with my kids. As you guys understand, being in the real estate business, it's easy, but it's not. But you still have that time to be able to be with your family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I did want to become a loan officer. And she's like, no, you know what? There's a thing called being a transaction coordinator. So I did. I researched, and I ended up getting my certification through the California Association of Realtors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I started.
So
good.
let's explain to everybody what a transaction coordinator is. First off, I think that would be good.
So a transaction coordinator, she or he is the person who handles the documents. So it's from contract to close, reviewing documents, making sure that all parties are assigned correctly, making sure that whether escrow, the lenders, everybody's in communication.
Yeah.
So I'm the middle person. I'm behind the scenes.
So a lot of people don't know. It's like, so I've been in the business for like 30 years. And when we started, our contract the purchase agreement was 4 pages long. And now it keeps growing. It's I think 16 or 17 pages now. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of other disclosures and amendments, addendums that go along with it. And Adriana and her crew is really good at keeping everybody up to speed, whether it's getting things signed, making sure the timelines are removed, the contingencies are removed at a timely manner, and walking everything and coordinating things, because there's lots of players. There's a buyer, there's a seller, there's a buyer's agent, there's a listing agent, and then we have escrow. Yeah. So, and then coordinating all of that together is really a complicated task. And the real estate agents really want to take care of their clients, and having Adriana behind the scenes taking care of all of the paperwork is, so valuable. Then we really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What I like to tell my clients personally is that as real estate agents, we're out showing property, we're on appointments, we're doing appraisals, we're doing all different types of things within a transaction. And I always explain to my clients is that we're not always there to send a document for signature that may need to be sent right away. Correct. But we have transaction coordinators that are always available to assist us with sending documents, prepping the documents for us. They send it to us, of course, to review before it gets sent out to make sure everything's accurate, there's no errors or issues anywhere. But it helps us a lot because they're basically our middle person to make sure that things get done in a timely manner. So if we're out on an appointment, Adriana will send me a text message like, hey, Josh, sent this over to you for signature, review and signature. If it's good, I'll send it out to your clients. I review it wherever I'm at, say we're good to go, let my clients know, and everything just runs really smoothly. So I love that. How long have we been working together, would you say?
Oh, goodness.
When
I
did
think
that
it's
start?
back in 2020 when the pandemic hit.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's for me, I am a very loyal person to people that I work with in general. And, you know, Adriana and I have been working with each other for quite some time. And for me, it's like I get contacted by transaction coordinators all the time saying, hey, we could assist you with your transaction coordinating work. But to me, it's like, no, I have the best transaction coordinator already.
Yeah.
So there's
Thank
no need to
you.
change. When you build a level of trust with who you're working with, that is essential. And when you have so many successful closings with them involved in that transaction, it just goes to show like she knows how I work, you know, how I operate. When something comes on our plate, we get it off right away. Like we're really quick
Exactly.
at getting that stuff done. And she knows what I look for in documents and things that I do or don't like. And, you know, it's like almost like having like a personal assistant almost in a way, but you're not just doing it for me. You're doing it for hundreds of other real estate agents.
Exactly.
All right. So your hands are full.
They are, but I really love what I do. This is why I decided to become a transaction coordinator, just making sure that I'm not on top of you guys, but it's a teamwork.
Yeah.
And that's what I always, you know, even when we're done closing a transaction, I always let Josh know, you know, great teamwork.
Yeah.
Because
all the
it
time.
is. It's a team, and it's not just me. It's not just you. It's escrow, the lenders, and it's a lot of people involved.
Yeah, and that aspect of open communication is just huge. I mean, you don't always get that all the time. Somebody might do a good job, but then they're not available when, I can't say at the drop of a hat because that's being asking too much from anybody, but you're really good at that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I try my best to be available to all my agents. They know whether it's email, phone call. I tell them, I'm like, I might not be available right away. I'll pick up the phone and say, hey, let me know what you need. I'll write it down and I'll send it over.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It is.
Do you have any mentors or anybody that you looked up to in the business or, you know, with how you got into transaction coordinating, anything that you've learned along the way, things like that?
I do. Well, yes, I do. I have several mentors. When I started working as a transaction coordinator, I started going through Facebook. So it's a huge community of transaction coordinators, over 2,000, I would say.
Wow.
So
didn't
it's
know that.
definitely, and that's for California. And nationwide, I saw the numbers, I think it's over 10,000.
Wow.
But, you know, it's great because it's a really tight community. That's where I was able to get my first job as a virtual assistant. I was able to help our friend Kara.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how Josh and I met.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was able to, you know, help me out through everything. And I think answering every question, because I'm very curious. I'm always curious, what is this for? How do we do this? And why is it being done? And little
Those
by
are
little.
good questions because, you know, if you don't ask questions, you don't learn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very good. Yeah.
Learning is something that I love doing, and you're always learning in this industry.
For sure.
Things are changing every 6 months.
Yeah.
For us.
You're
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah, and Kara is super knowledgeable too. So I'm sure she was a wealth of knowledge, like similar to Ron and me.
Yeah.
When I came into the business, Ron taught me so much in the first few years. He told me, and I probably mentioned this on another podcast, you know more than 80% of the other agents out there. And
I told Josh that.
Yeah, he
never
told me
believed
that. And I said, you're lying to me, Ron. And he was like, no, I'm being serious. And then I started having conversations with real estate brokers of companies that are running the companies. And I'm talking to them about the contracts and things, and they didn't know what I was talking about, or they were confused on things. And I'm like, whoa, I was like, maybe Ron's right here, you know, but, you know, it just goes to show when you have a good mentor that can teach you, you know, what you learn or what you need to know, you know, getting into the business is really instrumental with helping you take a big leap in your career, and which is helpful for you because, you know, you were able to start your own business from that, and you had a good foundation set with a really good person in your corner that helped you with that. And I think that's awesome that you recognize her in that way. So thanks for sharing that. That's very cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
At what point in the transaction, though, does the transaction coordinator get involved for those that may not know?
Good question.
So usually we get started from the beginning. So when you submit an offer, then I would love my agents to be adding me to the email, but sometimes it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are super busy. You want to get that offer out, or you have that listing. I might not be included, but
She's not talking about me.
no. I love your work. You are on top of your
I
stuff.
see her on everything.
Yes,
That's a good way to go.
it is. But, you know, and I appreciate it. I really do. And of course, all the agents that I work with, they have the different weeks. No agent is the same.
Yeah.
And there has been times, I mean, I get a new agent, it's 10 days to closing, and they say, can you assist me in this? I'm like, all right, we have 10 days. What are we doing?
Oh, it's all late in the transaction. Hey, I need a transaction coordinator.
Oh, yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Oh man, that's rough. Yeah. So typically when we submit an offer, generally what I do, what Ron does, Michael does, is when we submit an offer, we will send it to the realtor that's going to present the offer, but we will also CC our transaction coordinator that we're going to have involved in that transaction if the seller accepts our offer. So it's good to know beforehand and to CC our transaction coordinators, because they have the ability to go into the offer and see how we structured the offer and what we wrote it at. And then if a counter offer comes back, then they let us know, hey, a counter offer came back. I sent it over to review. Let me know if you guys need us to do anything on it. So they're really involved early in the game. And like Ron said earlier, they really kind of help make the transaction run seamless with the timelines, following up on everything that needs to be done within those timelines, and making sure that when we're not available to do something, they jump in and help us with that. So
Yeah, and it's not like we're out of the transaction.
Exactly,
Once you give
yeah.
people, it's like, hey, we put somebody in escrow and we just turn it over to transaction coordinator. Everybody's still working together. And there's timelines that are really important. And our, transaction coordinators like Adriana, it's like the first contingency removal piece is the buyer's deposit. And then there's home inspection, and there's a wood destroying organism inspection. There's an appraisal and contingency removal.
Disclosures.
And then disclosures, and then you've got the loan contingency removal. And all of those things that Adriana is really, really good at and keeping on top of.
Yep, exactly. One other thing for people that have worked with you, my clients specifically, they always say, oh, Adriana's so sweet. She sent it this long message, just email, opening up, introducing herself from the get-go so that they know who you're working with. From your experience with working with our clients, because you sometimes message or talk to them directly outside of us, what is the feedback that you get from some of those clients? Because my clients have told me, like, oh, we love working with your transaction coordinators. They're on top of it. They explain everything. It's super easy to speak with them. So what is it that you get feedback-wise from some of those clients that you've worked with?
Well, they're very happy. They're very happy because I'm explaining what I'm sending out to them.
Yeah.
Sometimes the agents, you guys are busy out in the field, and whatever I'm sending, it can be 17 attachments.
Yeah.
And they'll say, well, what are you sending me? I'm like, I'm sending A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
But if you have any questions,
Ask your agent.
ask your agent, please.
Yeah, no, we typically go over those things with our clients. Hey, Adriana's going to send these disclosures over. This is what it covers. We reviewed everything. Everything looks good, but review it on your end. If you have any questions, ask us.
Right.
But Adriana is the second to that, and lets them know what she's sending again. So there's a lot of good communication there with that. My other question that I had for you is that I know you work with a lot of different agents out there, and I'm sure you've worked with some agents and you're like, no, I'm not going to work with that agent again. What are some things that you see that come up in transactions, like the most common mistakes that agents make that don't have transaction coordinators?
Well, I love the Houdinis.
Okay.
The ones that will send over the contract and never
Disappear?
you never disappear.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened once. I don't have that agent working under me anymore. But I would say the common mistakes is mostly, let's say when you take a listing, sometimes the seller might not be the seller. It might be under the trust. It might be, maybe the aunt is getting involved in the sale. So just knowing from the get-go, knowing who the property owner is, the prelim. We've spoken about prelims.
Yes.
Make sure that what's on
There's
the prelim.
no liens.
There's no liens on the prelims.
Yeah. So the people that don't know what a prelim is, just a short abbreviation for preliminary title report, which has all of the information on who is the owner of the property. And sometimes it has the taxes, it has a loan information, the public record stuff. But some people don't pull it, and they don't know who the owner of the property is.
Yeah, and sometimes it has like mechanics liens. Like if somebody ever did work on your home, and that seller didn't pay that person, they could put a lien on the property. Sometimes if somebody's not paying their child support, there's child support liens on the property. So it's good to have that stuff up front.
Property taxes,
Exactly.
all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of information on the preliminary title report.
Yeah, and the main reason for it is if something comes up on the property that's liened against the property, those things need to get satisfied before that transaction can close.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason for that.
Hopefully that's the best practice.
Yeah,
The best practice.
Yeah, you have to being upfront, information, and communication, because there's going to be things that come up in any transaction, and it's okay as long as we know about them and we communicate with them. Adriana is not solving the problems of the real estate owners, but she helps us communicate that information back and forth,
Correct.
whether it's an email or text or sending out the documents that need to be signed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good too because it's a second pair of eyes, right? Because we're all human. Sometimes we miss something, we gloss over something, right? Everybody does. But we're pretty like on it. Like I see us as hawks. Like we're really kind of focused in on what's filled out, what's not filled out correctly, what box is not checked. They check the box that doesn't apply to the property. We need that corrected.
Correct.
Adriana's really good at that too. She's like, hey, I noticed that this is a condominium, but they checked it that it wasn't, right? Like, or that it's a common interest disclosure. They check, no, there's no common walls, but they do have common walls, and then they share fences and things. So there's like certain things that come up in transactions that we need to get remedied because we want to make sure all the paperwork is accurate. I'm sure the other side sees it as like we're nitpicky, but I want to be nitpicky because at the end of the day, if we ever get audited, I feel good about it because I know we're on top of our stuff.
Our job is to protect our clients.
Exactly.
Not protect, but inform our clients, and because we are their representative, whether it's a buyer or the seller. And having the I's dotted and T's crossed is very important.
It's just about transparency. That's what it is. And I always tell my agents, make sure that your client is being transparent. Because if there was repairs, that were done a couple months ago and they don't disclose it, it's really important that we're all on the same page. Otherwise, the transaction is not going to be smooth.
They can open themselves up to litigation issues. If they don't disclose things and come to find out the buyer can prove that something happened that they didn't disclose, they withheld. We always tell our clients, disclose anything and everything about the property that you know, because disclosing everything and everything, people think, oh, I don't want to scare a buyer away. No, it's the opposite. You disclose anything and everything about the property to the buyer, they feel comfortable. They say, wow, they really told us everything about the property. It makes us feel more comfortable knowing the condition of this home.
Exactly.
Right? If you don't tell them something and then a home inspection happens on the property and then they identify something that you did not disclose, you say, oh, I forgot to mention that. Do you think the buyer's really thinking you forgot, or they're thinking that you possibly withheld information, right? So it kind of sometimes changes the direction of a transaction. So it's always good to disclose anything and everything you know about the property. And then, if anything comes up later down the road, we just kind of address it at that point. So.
Yeah, and there's things that do come up and we get away from the transaction coordinator part of it. But on the home inspection, there can be some things that the sellers are not aware of. I'm going to say like the back bedroom, the outlet had a reverse polarity. I said, hey, you got to fix that. It's like, yeah, I didn't know about that. They probably didn't know about that. It's certain things that they likely knew that they didn't tell. Because if you tell the buyer, if say you're a representative seller, and you tell the buyer everything, and everything's disclosed, when it closes, you don't have to worry about anything coming back. So anyway, that was getting a little bit off of the transaction.
But it's
coordinator
good, though.
part.
I mean, you're explaining every single portion of the transaction and how we are looking over these documents and being transparent. It's just to protect you guys and also protect the client. That's what, us transaction coordinators would love to make sure that everything's just out there.
I'm sure. I don't know if the transaction coordinators know exactly how important they are. I just want to let you know. And that's why we're having Adriana on today. It's like the transaction coordinator is that we have the team. I might be missing some pieces. You have the listing agent, the buyer's agent. You have the buyer and the seller, and then there's the escrow company, there's the title company, the natural hazard zone disclosure, and all of this stuff is like, Adriana's part of our team, so she's part of that too. And there's a lender, there's likely there's going to be an appraisal, there's going to be a home inspection, all these other players in the whole transaction, and one of the most important players is the transaction coordinator. So anyway, so I wanted to point that out too.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and I agree with Ron 100% on that. One question that I have for you is that what could agents do better for those that work with transaction coordinators out there? So if you're speaking on behalf of all the transaction coordinators out there, what could agents do better to support their transaction coordinators to make sure that the transaction runs successful?
I think they should just, I think, touching base with their TC, touching base, like, what could I have done better on this transaction that we closed? Or what did why am I getting so many cancellations? I keep track. So if something's going on.
We're at zero.
Yeah, we're at zero. Yes, it's zero. We're at zero.
We get these deals closed.
I'll be reaching out to you and saying, Josh, you have about X amount of cancellations. What's going on?
Oh, man. I hope not.
No. But it's really important that, they keep the communication going. They don't ghost us.
Yeah.
We don't like that.
Yeah, okay. So just being able to communicate with you guys throughout the transaction basically supports you the most.
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Okay, and then aside from the like what the agents do that make mistakes and stuff like that in transaction, what are the most common mistakes that you see personally on like disclosures and like different paperwork that you receive that we typically need to get corrections on?
I would say just making sure that all the boxes are checked, the correct information is provided. Sometimes they don't provide the correct address. I know sometimes in rural areas, you can think, I'm from Marietta, so
Yeah.
there is a portion where it's, one part of the city, but then it's another part of the city. But I think it's in the county that it's mentioned differently.
Yeah.
So we have to hunt down to see exactly what is the correct address. So just providing the correct information, making sure everything's checked off. Either way, I mean, that's why we're here,
Yeah.
to make sure that, everything is complete correctly, and this way we can have a smooth transaction.
Okay. And then another question I had for you.
Before you get into
Yeah.
that. So Adriana's out in Marietta, and you can be anywhere to be a transaction coordinator. You don't have to be in the office. You don't have to be. You could be on vacation and still, not that you want you to do that. Because real estate agents do that too.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is really good to know. It's like you can be anywhere, which is really nice, and still be a transaction coordinator and a good transaction coordinator. So
Yes. You know what? I even travel with my laptop everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Same.
I've gone to Mexico. I have my laptop. Last time we went to New York, I was with my laptop. So as long as I let my agents know, hey, you know what? I'm going to be here, A, B, C, and D time. I'll be available. I'm always available for my agents.
Right.
So, and my laptop's going to go everywhere with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good to have.
Yeah. So a question I have regarding technology when it comes to TC work. There's been a big shift, I feel like, in technology over the last 5 years or so in real estate, with what's available with transaction management, keeping files in order, things like that. How important is the technology aspect to being a transaction coordinator, and how easy does it make your job?
Well, I would say it definitely makes it easier. There is so many softwares out there that transaction coordinators use. It makes it easy to track timelines. All you have to do is just plug in the acceptance date. You already have a template on how many days you'd like the contingencies, or you can do it manually. But yeah, the software itself, I mean, even with AI, I haven't tried AI personally. I'm a little scared to do that. But it's very important. I love just the fact that we have clients that are, overseas, and they're able to submit an offer. I mean, there's DocuSign. There's so much technology out there that helps all of us.
Yeah. So the reason why I bring that up is when I first started real estate, we didn't have transaction coordinator back then. So we used to literally scan all our paperwork in. We would scan all our paperwork in once we got everything signed. And then from there, I had to break up each document individually. And then I had to put them in their own individual files. It was a lot different when I first started and when Ron was doing it back in the day. But nowadays, it's like we can send DocuSign, or we can send SkySlope, like all different types of signing platforms. And then we get the digital copy right away in our email, where we don't have to do the scanning. And then they have softwares that split the documents for you, which is amazing. So it helps a lot with that part, because I used to spend a lot of time putting those files together, because back then we didn't get paid until you delivered a file. And it was a hard file I would have to give to Ron, like, this file closed, and then okay, you get paid now.
So when I started, it was in triplicate. There was no such thing as, not kidding, almost nothing was signed electronically. You just had to press really hard. You had the top copy, and then I think there was a pink copy, and then there was like a yellow copy. Of course, that last copy was kind of hard to read. So
Correct, yeah.
somebody had that copy, and that was their proof of a signature or whatever document that they wanted. And we got more documents now than we've ever had before.
I'm thinking to myself, Ron's been in the business 30 years. He didn't have an MLS when he started real estate.
No, funny thing.
They
We
posted
did
it
have
in
an
the
MLS. We didn't have it on the internet.
They posted it in the newspaper. When
Pretty
was for
close.
sale.
So how did you do that? Posting it in the newspaper?
It was.
I'm just messing with
No, it's funny though, because
And the penny saver.
like that, like the old-fashioned phone books. Okay, so they're like those pages are really, really thin, right?
Yes.
That's what our MLS book was made out of, and it had a brief description and like one black and white picture of a house, and it had a little bit of information in it, and it came out every 2 weeks. So if there was a new listing or anything, it's that nobody knew about it except for the inner office. Those inner office, not transactions, but if an agent inside the office had a listing, they knew about it, and if they went to the meeting, they could share it. But it didn't get published in the book for 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, it would come out. And then that's why it was like anybody that had to buy a house or go sell a house, you got to come into the office And the agents had a lot of control over how it's done because it was like a mystery. And with all the information, the agents had all of the information. And now everybody has the information. Now it's like you put it in there, and any other agent has the same access time as the general public, which is good. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's progress. Right?
Oh, big time.
It is. It's progress.
Carousel of progress, like a Disneyland. Just checking. Real quick. One thing that I love about Adriana that I want to just kind of highlight for those agents out there that don't have a transaction coordinator and are looking for one, highly recommend that you reach out to her. I think you'll be very happy with her services. But one thing that I think Adriana does exceptionally well is that our real estate forms get updated all the time throughout the year. Typically twice a year, they get updated at certain times.
Lately, it's been like every other month we get new stuff too.
Yeah.
But typically we get June and November, or almost always get updates, and then sometimes they get new stuff.
They make them effective December or January. The
and
following.
it's not everything.
Yeah.
It's
No.
a little piece here, a little piece there, a disclosure and amendment, or a little piece.
Just revisions.
New stuff. Yeah.
That's what it is. Revisions on the current disclosures and on the new ones. I love when CAR actually has those town hall meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I am present, thankfully I am. And when I'm not, either way, I have my TC group that, I've joined, and they're able to provide access to what forms are out there, the education, any questions that I have regarding the new forms, which is really great.
Yeah. So it's been great because for me, what I love what she does is when there's changes that are made, she'll send us like a list and she'll say, these were the revisions made on these pages of that document, and this is what the change was. She doesn't decipher it because she can't. She's not a realtor. Legally, she's not allowed to decipher those things. But she points out the change in the document to us. We review it. We have to review all the changes every time they're made in any document. But it's nice because she does the legwork for us where we don't have to go in every single document to see where that change was. She lists it out on one page for us to review and say, okay, we understand why that was changed. Now what's going to change in the process of doing real estate, we understand it. The other thing I love too is that with Adriana is that she has friends in different areas in the business. And there was, at the time, there was a big change in real estate with, I think it was how the commission structure thing was working at that point. And she had a friend that taught classes and things, and she set up like a private class for us to join and stuff, and didn't charge us for it. It was just like out of the kindness of her heart saying, hey, make sure you guys check this box. You guys are doing it this way because you can find yourselves in trouble if you don't do it this way. Yeah. And it was super helpful. So Adriana's always looking out for the best interests of her clients, which are us agents. And in turn, it helps us with looking out for the best interest stuff for our clients. So I want to say thank you very much for that. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but I always really appreciate when you do that for us.
Well, you're welcome. I really appreciate you guys. You guys do an amazing job. Thank you. I know Josh, he's always writing these really nice emails, thorough emails, which we appreciate. But when it comes to the classes, if anything that I see available that's going to benefit my agents, I'm glad to, add you guys on because it's not just for you, but it's also for me.
Yeah. Well, real quick, one last thing. What is it that you like most about being a transaction coordinator?
Oh my goodness. Well,
that's a hard question, huh? Because there's a lot.
There's a lot. I do love documents, but I really love seeing just the clients being, even if we're, your new home buyers, it's their first home. They're excited. Mm-hmm. I've had where an older couple, they sold their home to move closer to their grandkids. Mm. They were 2 hours away, and they were super excited. They were sending me pictures, and I was just excited for them. Like I said, I love family when it comes together, and it's great. It's great seeing everybody happy.
Yeah, I love that part too.
I was going to say, 'cause everybody on our team, and that general team, is helpful and caring, and you're a good example of that as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, real quick, before we wrap up, Ron wanted to hit on some quick rapid questions with you.
The fun questions.
All right.
Easy wins. All right.
What's the prize?
We're going to let you go.
Oh, there you go.
You're trapped in the podcast studio until you answer these questions.
All right.
No. All right. What is your favorite book or TV show?
Oh, my goodness. Right now, I'm watching Paradise on Hulu. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it has to do with like an apocalyptic type of situation. So we all know, I mean, they say the world's going to end and all this stuff. But yeah, they talk about bunkers. It's really good. We're on season 2 already, so I love it.
Oh, okay.
Sounds fun.
I'm going to check into that.
Very good. On your favorite getaway, desert, beach, or mountains?
Oh my goodness.
I know the answer to this one.
Everywhere.
Travel.
I do. I love traveling. I'm a big foodie, and wherever there's food, I'm there.
So you can get to all 3 of them in the same day right where we're at.
In
here,
California,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All right. And as far as your food goes, do you prefer pie, cake, or ice cream?
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake. That's my wife's favorite chocolate.
God.
If we're picking out something, it's like, what do you want? What do you want? It's like, I know what you want. She wants chocolate cake. So we're going to get chocolate cake.
Yes, chocolate cake. Oh, my goodness. I love it.
I like cheesecake. Ron's never asked me, but that's my favorite.
Ron,
When I have you on the podcast, I'll ask you that question.
when I'm the guest.
wait, he hasn't been the guest on the podcast?
I don't know whether we guessed each other.
Yeah, we ask each other questions.
Right. So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that to be their transaction coordinator?
Well, I do have Instagram, adriana.tcx. I have my email, transactions@tcxhub.com, and then my phone number. I think my phone number is the easiest. You can, I have my phone everywhere, so 760-580-0214.
And we'll include those numbers in the
Description
at the bottom of the podcast. So I believe that is it. So thank you very much. Thank you, Adriana, for coming out.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure
I really
having you on
appreciate
the
it.
show.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, for higher expectations and higher standards, choose the higher advantage, real estate, sales, and service. Take care. Be safe out there, and have a great day.